A Tuesday. Well, they're always on Tuesday. But welcome to Barflies. It is standing room only in the bar tonight. So welcome, everybody.
We're going to have to buy some more stools.
Yeah, we will. I mean, listen to that raucous crowd.
You said nauseous?
Oh, raucous.
Is that like ruckus? What the hell is that?
No, a ruckus is people doing ruckusy things.
Yeah.
Raucous is like
rabid. You sure? Is that a word?
I don't know.
All right.
So what's up?
You know what you mean. It's
hello,
beautiful
Steven.
here.
Hello. Your temperature gradient never changes.
You go does.
From it's just high of 64 to a high of 61.
It makes me too sensitive. That's the problem because if it gets to be above 76, it's too hot. And if it's below like 66, too cold. I mean, you get used to very sensitive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rumpus.
So what are you smoking at? Rumpus.
Rumpus.
No, you have a rumpus room.
For raucous activity. How do you get rid of if you don't want it blurry? I thought if you got close, do you do this?
Green screen.
Whatever. I'm smoking a Alec Bradley Magic Toast. We're gonna fire this up. Well, and like you were just we were talking about, mentioned there's a move coming up to our household, which will end up resulting in a cigar lounge where this show will be broadcast live from, and I'll no longer have to use a green screen.
You won't have a background. That's right.
I'll have it real life.
And mine will be that way too eventually. Once I stop spending money on RV parts. So
in
case you didn't ask, but I'm smoking a El Rey del Mundo Oscuro. A very inexpensive cigar, relatively. And overlooked. I mean, El Rey del Mundo has been around a long time, and they're just delicious. Peppery, strong.
And is that paired with the ever-present Coke Zero? It's Pepsi Zero.
No, it's wild cherry Pepsi Zero.
Excuse me.
Yes, I went a little bougie, but we bought a new ice machine, and it makes the little tiny ice pellets like you get at the Circle K, where you can it's great. Yeah.
That are what? Like
ice nuggets.
Tylenol capsule kind of ice?
Yes. Ice nuggets.
Wow, that's got to be exciting.
It is. It'll make 44 pounds of ice in one day.
Yeah. Well, that cools your drink from like room temperature to below zero.
It's wonderful. And and if you do it in an aluminum thing, other than I guess the free radicals that the aluminum is sucking into your body, it stays cold all night.
Day free is good.
So
you don't have to pay for the radicals,
right? Well, and actually these were cheap. They were on special, and I didn't show it, but it says, "I'm not drunk. I'm patriotic." So it's my travel.
Two things can be true. Two things. Mm-hmm. I'm drinking an independent bottle. You can't see whatever. What the heck? Of Lafroig 10.
Oh, independent bottle.
Yeah, cask strength.
Whoa. We just went off screen. I wonder why.
Yeah, I've noticed we're doing that thing again where I hope it's not showing for everybody, but like you freeze for a few seconds off and on consistently.
It's a little bit glitchy. But actually
that the calf drug.
Oh my Lord, Steve. Okay, so this actually illustrates what part of our show is about tonight. Part of our show is the butterfly effect. So watch this. Well, I got to wait until I come back on the screen again.
We can hear you.
There we go. So the butterfly effect, for all of you that may not know, the butterfly effect means that if a butterfly in South America flaps its wings, that a tornado in Nebraska could happen. But we're going to prove the point because Steve is here. So if I stomp my foot right on the ground right now, if I stomp my foot, here we go. I can hear him scream. That is
nice.
That is the butterfly.
Wow.
That is the butterfly effect.
We're sophisticated. Yeah.
Yes. And we're also talking about razors too, I guess.
Yeah. Well, since you brought it up, And I said, well, Dave, where were we going to go in this conversation with the butterfly effect? He said, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. So in this case, a butterfly got eaten by a jaguar, so there's no butterfly effect. No, but you think about it. I mean,
well, the opposite could be that there's such powerful winds that it doesn't matter two hoots what a butterfly does.
Well, that depends if Rich is in the room. That depends on whether Rich is in the room, as far as the powerful winds. But no, think about it. So if, for instance, if you sneeze right now, does somebody else get nostril moisture on their face 4,000 miles away?
4 miles away?
4,000 miles away. We are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, well, oily. Yeah.
Oily, yes. Well, that's beside the point.
But I wanted to, we could get deep into this, but let me just say a perfect example. I just finished a book this morning about one of the first female naval aviators in jet planes and this stuff. Right. And she went on to fly commercial, and she was the pilot on a Northwest flight where one of the engines disintegrated, basically. Parts shot into the cabin, blew out a window. One of the passengers was halfway sucked out the window, and all this. But she landed it successfly, right?
I'm not quite sure who she's talking to in this one.
Yeah, could be anyways. But
hello.
So her point was, a lot of the book was her being a female, wanting to be a female military pilot. Boy, the pushback and just no's that she got was she ended with the Navy because every other branch.
Right.
And then she took the test, scored high, but I guess you gotta have to process your test results. It took her 2 years to get a recruiter to process her test results, and every step of the way, she had people that weren't just not supportive, but actively trying to stop her from doing this. And I guess once you're done with your training, if you do well enough, you can be asked to stay on as an instructor pilot. And she was, but the person who did the assignments disliked her so much. I guess one of the worst assignments to get is taking pilots up and then putting them into spins and uncontrolled flight for them to recover. Everybody hated doing that, and she was stuck with it for a year.
Right.
All that leads up to when she had this incident on a commercial flight, and basically they lost sight because of smoke in the cabin and they couldn't hear each other talking and stuff. She said everything up until that point led to the experience she had to land that successfully.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Well, you're talking about prejudice and stuff like that. Just all you have to do is look at the Tuskegee Airmen. You're familiar with that story. They tried everything they could to make them fail. And as it turned out, all that training and all that crap that they did turned out to make them the only fighter squadron in World War II that never lost a plane during escort. Never lost a plane. So same type of thing. I don't know if that really qualifies as the butterfly effect, but just previous experience leads you to where you're prepared for that.
So it's interesting the way you want to, because you could say that in her instance, any one of those things would have meant she was not in the cockpit, and what would have happened that could have been completely different. But then you could also say, well, life is life. The moment you're living now relied on everybody's gajillion decisions and things beforehand. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I think you could also argue that because a lot of people, that I'm very faith driven, and I'm a firm believer that God puts you where He needs you to be at a specific moment in time. May not be a happy moment in time. It may not be an easy moment in time, but I think that everything happens for a reason. And my mom went through the same. She was a captain in the Army, and she went through that same type of thing. And then on top of that, she's from Puerto Rico, so she didn't speak English real well at the time. So it, all that happens.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, it's nice that you acknowledge that I was put here in this moment to carry you through this show. I mean, we all have our purpose.
Or the alternative to that is that it was a injured butterfly. He waved his wings, puts you in this place to irritate me, thus testing my patience. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, we'll never know.
So it works out either way.
We will never know. All right. So let's
real quick. Wait. A rell quick show note. Next week, Joe Paulson from Lost in the Desert will be here. He's got a extreme four-wheel drive channel. And boy, some of the pictures and the video he sent me, it's going to be a good conversation. Yeah. So don't forget to be here next week at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. Well, what was this? What room were we in? What did we say? Rumpus.
Okay. I read this wrong. So the actual one says, after my maternal grandmother died.
Yeah.
We found out that she sent my father a pinup photo during World War II. Well, I glanced at it real quick, and what I saw was after my maternal grandmother died, we found out that my grandfather was a pinup girl during World War II.
Well,
that's what I saw.
You don't know all their secrets.
Well, with Steven, I mean,
yeah, could be.
I
mean, he ended up in Vegas, so full circle.
That's true, full circle. Good point.
Yeah. All right, so let's get a little bit deep before we move on to razors. Do you ever think about one decision? I get that there's hundreds or thousands, but one decision in your life that you keep thinking, if I did this one differently, I'm really curious what would have happened.
Yes.
Great. Okay, great. Moving on.
Yeah, no, I think that if I would have not found, well, it's actually kind of three decisions. If I would have not found girls, hot rods, and alcohol, I would have went to the Air Force Academy and I would have flown, and because that was my dream.
I could have been a contender.
But I found out that girls, beer, and hot rods was a lot more fun at the time.
Right. Little did you know, if you would have flown jets, you probably could have had all those.
True, still. But here's the way I look at it. If I would have gone on that path, I would have probably never met Sharon. I probably wouldn't be in Tucson, and I probably wouldn't be having an RV suck me dry for.
Could be living the heaven that you have.
But I wouldn't have. We wouldn't have this nice property. So yeah, I mean, everything. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. I do believe that the good Lord has kind of put me on this path. For instance, let's talk about shaving. And as we lead into razors, the experience that we had at a forum that we will not name and some of the problems there led to the formation of the shaving cadre. And I wouldn't have met you. Actually I did. I met you over at Badger and Blade, but what I'm saying, it wouldn't have happened.
Wouldn't have been the same. Yeah.
Eric says you could have been a real life maverick. Well, I've got the height right. So, and actually, you know what? Tom Cruise looks pretty good for 64 years old. Okay. I'm going to be 61. So yeah, we got that going on. I'm not a Scientologist. You
do your own stunts.
I do my own stunts. Yes. But I don't have his money or his clout. Did you hear the latest about him? Speaking of that, he wants to do a space movie, a science fiction space movie. See, this is the butterfly. He wants to film it in space, and he wants to do a spacewalk himself. Most of the insurance companies are like,
yeah, but no. He puts up his own cash, though. That guy, yeah. I'm curious. We don't need to talk about this, but put in the chat if Dave was a military pilot, what does everybody think his call sign would be?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That'd be a good. Yeah, so I'm always been curious. In high school, I'm not a small guy, but between my junior and senior year, I lost a bunch of weight over the summer. And the football coach saw me and he goes, you should come out for football. If you want to play football, we got you on the team. Because I still had the muscle mass, but lost the weight quickly.
Right.
And I was way into photography. and love doing sports photography. And I thought, well, hell, if I do that, taking pictures of football is my favorite thing to do. I wouldn't be able to do that. So I said no. But I've always been curious. If I went out for football, how good would I have been? Because I also, back when I worked out all the time, could put on muscle mass and strength pretty quickly.
Right.
So I always thought, how far could I have gone in football if I went up? Probably not, because I had no experience and I would have had 1 year in high school. But I would like to know.
That's kind of cool. I was that way kind of with baseball, but I love. Thanks, Dave. By the way, Stumpy, double take. That's cheating. Tig Lily, that's cheating. And go ahead, Steven.
Was that your?
No,
your
my actual call sign in the military was sniper. SNYPER.
But you weren't a sniper.
Well, I was for the team.
Oh yeah,
for my team. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did you get to shoot the 50 cal?
I've got my houndstooth.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got my houndstooth.
Now, man, okay, can I also say, mad respect for those guys, because I also always think if I went into the military, I would want to be off in the distance and the technical aspect of sniper, the windage and distant, like it's very math focused, right?
Yeah, but you don't do that. Your spotter does.
Okay, but that sounds interesting. But the aspect of laying there for like 12 hours and like peeing on yourself or whatever and not eating and just dealing with there's no way I could have. I'm not one for just putting up with crap like that. So mad respect for all that.
Yeah. Well, that was and then I also got the nickname of Fooch, Fooch. And that's only because we were on a rescue one time and I said the 4-letter word with FUCK, but it didn't come out right. And it came out as Fooch. And the problem is, to get those nicknames, you only have to do one little thing. Yeah. And you're stuck with it forever. You're stuck with, for instance, on The Big Bang Theory, Howard Wolowitz got his nickname.
What was it?
Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops.
Yeah. Okay, so we've only gotten 2 call signs for you. I'm a little surprised, a little disappointed.
Stumpy. Well, it's because Steven is afraid to post the one he really wants to post. The bougie assassin.
Just from the hotel room. I'm off into.
That's the we can't talk about those things.
That's right. That's right.
There are military secrets involved.
All right. So yeah, we had dueling. You know us. Half the time we have no plan on to what to talk about. So we come up with some half-baked ideas. So Dave was butterfly effect, and mine was like, even though we try to keep shaving kind of separate, we haven't talked about it for a long time on this channel. And then I said, well, let's just talk about some of our more. Well, I just said razors, and I was thinking kind of maybe some of our different, more interesting, but I didn't share that with you. So I'm not sure what you brought, but I just thought whatever you decided, we could, we just share what we brought.
Okay. You go first.
Sure. You can go first.
I know it's going to be Bullwinkle.
Well, I'm not starting with that.
Even Rich agrees with me.
Okay. Well, should we get that one out of the way?
Sure.
I think I need to turn off my background here though to do this. So let me do that. There's Look how exciting that is. All right. So this is the one they call Bullwinkle, just because it sticks out on the edges. Now this one, I don't know why they don't sell it anymore. And Dave likes to give me crap for it. But first of all, when I first saw this thing, I'm like, what a ridiculous looking handle that is with the hole in the middle. And believe it or not, you don't even notice it when you're shaving with it. And it lightens the whole thing. But the cool part about this is it takes a one-sided razor blade, and most razors kind of squish it in between 2 plates, right? This one, and it's going to be hard to see, but there's a gap. You can see 2 little nubbins sticking down from the top there in the gap. So the blade slides in there, and those nubbins poke through holes in the blade, and that's all that holds it into place. So it's free to do this, which you would think would cause chatter and be really irritating, but it doesn't. It flexes just enough that it creates an amazing shave. And so I love it. It's different. You can't get it anymore. But I think it's the best single edge razor out there, Dave.
Well, it's amazing that you would say that it's the best single edge razor because I just happen to have what truly is the best single edge razor.
Here we
go. Without a doubt, there's no debating it.
Okay, well, wait. Before you start, what do you not like about this one?
Well, I had one, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I did not like the way it shaved. I didn't like the flexibility of the blade.
Okay, you didn't like that. Okay.
And it is hideous looking. Hideous.
All right, to the eye of the beholder.
It looks like a Yugo.
Eye of the beholder, because you have what you think is the best single edge. Go ahead.
Well, I don't. It's just not just me. It's the vast majority of people on the planet, and that is the Blackland Vector. Just look at that thing. It's sexy. It looks like a race car. It looks like it's going 90 miles an hour, and they make it in titanium. They make it in stainless. It's a very intuitive razor. You just let it fall down your face, and it's wonderful. It's of all the single edge razors, this is it.
Now, I hate about that one.
Yes, what Eric says, the aesthetics affected my ability to shave with it because it was like every time I looked at it, I had somebody saying, "Okay, Boris, Natasha, how do we want to shave with this today?" So
right. Now, I like a razor with a little bit of heft. I like to feel
right.
And that's one of the things I really don't like about that one. It is skinny, like a little pencil girl's razor. No, the head is super, super thin, and it weighs almost nothing.
Yeah.
That's
remember, what is the one thing they tell you? It's been exactly cherubs shave with vectors. This is
cherubs are babies
razor.
With no hair.
Well, they got wings.
They shave their wings off.
But no, I mean, just ergonomically, it fits real. It's the most intuitive single edge razor. It uses. I used to use the Feather Pro Guard, but I've moved on to the Kai MG Pro, and it's just a wonderful razor. Just a neat razor. I probably use this razor probably 60% of the time. Probably.
Yeah, that's your go-to.
As far as like when you get up in the morning, you just have a quick shave. Yeah. So we have a debate going. We have a debate going on in the bar
about if cherubs shave
or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I like throw Rich's comment up there. That's a good one.
Which one?
They only look like babies because of the vector. They get baby butt smooth.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'll go next. My heaviest razor, I think. Nope, it's not the heaviest anymore. But this was a razor that was a famous razor, but they stopped making it, and it is the Open Comb Tridari.
I've never heard of that.
This was a razor this was a razor that was made by a specific company, and then I can't remember who. Blackland, of course.
Yeah.
They got the rights to remake it. It's a very hefty open comb razor, but it's very smooth. The original Tridari shaved just like this, and but they were going north of $400, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Plus, what I like about this one is this one has a full cap, meaning that when you put the blade in, you don't have any wings like most Gillettes. You don't have any wings sticking out the edge, because if you're doing this and you twist, that wing can get you, and it will cut you. It will cut you. So that's my other DE that I use quite often.
All right.
Your turn.
Well, I happen to bring up, I think it's the heaviest razor that I own. This is the Hone.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know weights, but it feels like it's a few pounds. I'm sure it's not. But I was frustrated with the lack of weight in a lot of DEs. And like I said, I like a beef. The first time I shaved with this one, I felt like my arm got tired holding it up. It's one that you can't, TIG ass if a razor falls down your face. This one, you can't just let it do its work. There's too much weight to it. You got to hold it back a little bit. But it's also pretty cool shave.
So you think you could have held on to a football during your football career when the razor's too heavy for you?
I would not have been the quarter. I would have just been the guy on the line just laying people out.
Oh, okay.
The plan. I'm not fast. That's the thing.
Okay. You're a lineman. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I give you that.
But look at that.
That looks a lot like what was that one razor that Rich gave us that was adjustable?
With an O, right?
Yeah. It was kind of a futuristic type of razor. That's pretty cool.
I know which one you're talking about.
Now this is now my heaviest razor. It's also my newest one, and that is the Blackland Osprey. Yeah, this is an adjustable. This is an adjustable razor, and it's got this center brass piece that makes it roll heavy. But you can take that.
Hold up closer.
You can take that brass piece out.
Oh, you can.
Yeah,
if you unscrew it, it slides up.
Yeah, and you can make it. You can make it a lot lighter. And again, it's got the full cap. Yeah, the Futura. It's a nice razor. It really is. It's beefy. I don't grab for it as much because it's a little too hefty for me. But
okay,
so still a nice razor.
No, let's talk about that because Steven's making fun of me and all this stuff. But if you have a heavy razor, you have to put a little more thought into it, right? Because you can't just let it. Well,
seriously, I don't. Because what I do is just like on a sword, I find out where the balance point is, and then I just literally let it fall down.
Just like a sword, okay.
Just like a sword.
Then why do you say it's too heavy?
It's just because I have to slow it down a little bit.
That's right. That's what.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
If you just let it do its thing, it's a little aggressive, right?
Well, and not only that, but if it slips out of my hand and hits my toe, it'll break my toe.
Oh, well.
So I'm thinking, global spatial specifics. But yeah, I know it sounds like a commercial for Blackland because actually,
that's your third one.
Yeah, well, there's one more coming. Probably my favorite razor for efficiency is the Blackland Blackbird Titanium. This one's titanium, very light, but aggressive. This is as aggressive as a straight razor, and it's a safety bar. This thing's a beast. The angle of it, the blade angle is extreme. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see the blade angle. That's pretty extreme.
Yeah. So now, which one do you shave? If you got a little close the day before and your skin's just a little, it needs a day of rest. What do you shave with?
I don't know what that term means.
The Vector?
No, I don't know.
Ever get a little bit?
No.
Well, no. Excuse me.
No, I'm a professional over here. No, I never know. I honestly never, due to my regiment, I don't get facial irritation at all. Now, when I first bought this, it tore me up. I almost sold it because it was too much. And no, it's not brought to you by Blackland Razors. It's just that was the last one.
Unless they want to provide us a discount for
exactly.
And then we're happy to.
And I tried to get Shane to join the cadre as a vendor, and he didn't think we were big enough.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I'm not shilling for Blackland.
Yeah.
You know that I've had these razors a ton of times.
I know. Well, so I'll go to Workhorse Razor, and I'm sure you know what that is. This is the Rockwell 6S. Mostly it comes in silver, but I like black razors when you can get them just because they're different. So you saw the
wait a minute. I thought that one had the SR71 handle on it.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So this one is cool because it comes with 3 different base plates, and they have 2 different sides that all change the aggressiveness. So you can have 6 levels of aggression. So I like to suggest this for people. It's not cheap, and when people first start shaving, they want to start inexpensive. And I think I understand that, but I think that's the wrong way to go because you don't know what matches your face. So this lets you start off very mild, which might be irritating because you don't get super smooth, and you can work your way up and find out where you like. But this thing for me, somehow it's just got the right geometry that I did that challenge once where I shaved with this like every hour for a day, and it caused no irritation at all. So this is what I take usually when I travel, and pretty much the only DE I use anymore.
Yeah. See, and it's funny you mentioned travel because usually the Vector is the one I travel with as far as a handheld, a DE SE razor. I don't usually take a DE and then I take my straights. But I wanted to address this real quick from Axeman. He says, I'm really stuck on aluminum lately. My new purchases have been aluminum, lightweight, and I love them. I'll turn in my manual. No, actually, I had a Henson. And the Henson was great, but it just was not I like an aggressive razor. And even I forget which model it was, but it was considered the most aggressive one. It still wasn't aggressive enough because I am a BBS chaser. Every day it has to be perfectly smooth. Now, a lot of people aren't. They'll do 2 passes, be on their way. But I want to feel that porcelain smoothness every single day. Because with a moneymaker like this, you got to look great. Especially for my client. Oh, why are you rolling? That's what this is. This was my imitation of you.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, no, and that's fine. If somebody likes aluminum, like people like to buy titanium, which makes them a lot lighter. That's preference. I like the heft, and some people it's too much.
Well, and the nice thing with the titanium is it's completely hypoallergenic. So you can't, because some people have different allergies and stuff to metals. That one isn't. But here's a good point. So Steven says, my heaviest razor is a British post-war tech. I don't have one right here, but I would show it with a Frankenstein stainless steel brass handle. So so what you would get in that situation is you would get a heavy on the tail end and a little bit lighter on the front end. But if the geometry is right, then because the whole thing to me with any razor, and we'll get into straights in a minute, is the balance. You should literally be able to shave just like this.
Yeah.
You should be able to shave just like that.
You were joking about, I've got a razor that looks similar to this, but it's shorter and stumpier with a much fatter handle called the SR71, which you have to have for the name alone.
Exactly.
But you were teasing me because I switched that handle to something else. And I switched it to the Vector that you love so much because I wanted the heft.
Right.
And it's more. So let me I got a couple of ones I brought just for interest.
Okay.
One, if nobody has seen this used to be around all the time for sale. I haven't seen them forever.
No, I haven't eaten them all.
And I don't know why. So
really, once you tell the story, it is the perfect razor for you.
All right. So it is referred to, and here it's, I don't know, you can see the wing sticking out. So it's a Gillette with the wing sticking out, like you were saying, could cut you up. But they're referred to as a psycho razor. Sometimes I think they were also used in prison, but the point being is you can't unscrew this thing. It came with a key. And this is what makes them also more expensive because you get like 8 or 10 razors and one key but you stick the key up in there and then you could undo it. So in theory, somebody would put a blade in for the person in a psych ward and then hand them this, and there's no way for them to get the blade out.
No, it was a very, very smart idea.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I forgot to bring? I forgot to bring the Techmatic.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
No, I forgot to bring it because that's one of the most unique razors, and it was used on all Apollo missions. So unfortunately, we'll have to show that another time. Well, and speaking of interesting razors, all of us have, well, at least I do. We have grail razors that we've always wanted to get, razors that we may have missed. And my nickname, or actually my avatar name on the forum, says that Matt Lukey is my razor sugar daddy because he searches for these. And hi, Bruce. And this is probably my most prized possession as far as a DE razor, and that is my Darwin. It was a razor that was made, I think, in the 1920s, 1930s, but it's got that nouveau look. That very heavy razor, not the best performer because if you look at the angle, I mean it's
pretty flat.
Well, actually, let me see if I can get a better. Let's see here. I can't see it now. It's actually pretty steep when you think about it, but it's just a really, really beautiful razor, and it matches it because a lot of us. Oh, great. A lot of us like to be matchy as far as our shaves are concerned. In other words, the brush, the razor, everything else. And so the Darwin, there's a Darwin shave soap, a Darwin aftershave, and so this is probably my pride and joy. I don't shave with it that often, but it's on display constantly. And then the only other Gillette that I shave with regular, and this is not all my DEs, these are just ones that are in the rotation, is the super adjustable. And this was Ed's razor, a very good friend of the cadres. It's just it's a nice razor. It's got good heft to it, and it's got a nice longer handle. So, what else you got?
Yeah. I got another unusual one. Did you ever pick one of these up?
No, I didn't. That is a very unique razor.
And what it
looks like a pocket knife.
It's called the Color something. I forget the other part of the name. Color something, which makes no sense. But yeah, check this out. So there's a release button here, like a pocket knife, so it doesn't fall open. So you undo that. Oh, Color Lamb, it says right on there. And then you got this, and so then you got to push another button here, and then you unfold, and there you go. And
it's
then
like a transformer.
And then the top of it is it's magnets. See,
that's pretty cool.
And it holds half of a DE, and it's actually a pretty good shaver. And the crazy thing is, I forget, we got these from AliExpress or something like that for like $12-13 or something like that. But just out of curiosity, a couple of us got them, and they're surprisingly a good little shaver.
You know, that wouldn't be a bad travel razor either.
True.
You know, because it folds up and you don't have to worry about it getting.
It's the blade. When we're all done, let's talk about the Techmatic, because now when I don't check a bag, that's the one I bring.
Oh, do you?
Go ahead. What else you got?
Okay, so now we're moving on to straight razors. And I would say I was talking about how the Vector is probably one of the razors that I use the most. Now, this one is not really considered a straight razor, but I think of it as our Starlink wasn't spotty.
He wasn't here for the last show to hear.
No, he needs to call me alternator is what he needs to call me. No, but this razor is probably the closest thing to a true straight razor, and you already know what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful razor. It was designed just flawlessly. It was designed in the Netherlands, I believe. It was probably made in Asia, but that is the Essence by Tedless. He knew. Yeah. This is probably absolutely one of my favorite razors. I love it. And it's never given me a bad shave. It's easy to change the blade once you get to know it. And I use this thing almost as much as I use my keys.
It slides open, held on by magnets, and you just
it's really
stuck with a magnet.
It's a wonderful, wonderful razor.
I'm sorry, are we keeping you up?
No, I'm sorry. But I use one of these. I've got 3 of them. I have one in reserve. I have I just don't ask. I have one in reserve, and I have
these were not cheap, by the way.
No, and I have one that I use at the shop every day. I use this at the shop every day because for the most of my clients, this is the perfect straight razor to use on them when shaving them. I do have a couple other straight razors, like heavy ground razors that I use on. I've got this one client that grows hair on his face as fast as your avatar does on the thing. It's just poof. And this is just too light, but it's absolutely wonderful. So
now, have you heard of this one Axeman's talking about? A wind up vibrating razor? I've seen.
Oh, yes, I have heard of it.
Plug in from the 50s or something like that.
No, I've heard about, in fact, KJ Spider, he was talking about it one time on the forum. And I'm going to break protocol here real quick. I'll go get the Techmatic so you guys can see it.
Yeah, go get the Techmatic.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I'll show I only have one more that I brought. Okay. And so Dave, I'm assuming he's got a ton of straight edge razors because he's into that. And a lot of straight edges won't work for me. And I think it's just too coarse of a hair. And then I decided before pursuing it more, I didn't want to deal with honing razors when I shave. I thought I got a long enough process, enough hobbies and stuff. So I used, so as he's mentioning, this one is like a straight edge, except it's a replaceable razor. But I'm also into shavettes, which are similar, except they take DE blades. And so this one, this is from the Holy Black. I got it because it looks kind of badass. But it's kind of funny because really it doesn't matter from the back what it looks like, right? It's just a blade that it.
But see, I call those the shavers of death.
Right. A lot of
my worst injury happened with one of those.
I'm trying to open. I have a blade in here. I'm going to open it up. So it opens up like this.
Okay, you have Band-Aids available.
And, you stick a DE in there on the little nubbins, and then you got to hold over like that. And so I got a bunch of these, but this one is one of my favorites just because of the way it looks.
Is that the Holy Black one?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what straights did you bring? I assume you brought some of your custom jobbies.
Yes, I brought the Viking, and most people have seen that. This is a Stark 6/8. It was made out of buffalo horn, and you can't see it, but this is.
Oh, that's not the one I thought you'd bring.
Well, I got more. Okay. This is Damascus steel or forged pattern steel, and then it's got runes on the top of it. And so it's one of my sharpest razors because it was made after another razor I have called the Chevalier. And so it's got that blade profile, except the Chevalier has a muted point. This does not have a muted point. So this is a very, as far as pitch and yaw, you got to be real careful with this razor because you will take your earlobe off. And then it's got a walnut, you can't really see it, but it's got a walnut wedge spacer. And I'll do the truffle shuffle on video. I don't even know what the truffle shuffle is.
I don't know, but it sounds like we want to see that.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sell him my Titleist for that. Right. But anyhow, so that's one of my favorites. However, I'm a little depressed, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but when we were on vacation, I think I told you this, when we were on vacation, we visited what we thought was Jerry Stark's, because Jerry Stark no longer makes razors. And we thought it was his wife's knife store because they have the largest knife store in the United States, and it's in Holbrook, Arizona. It's huge. I mean, 50,000 square feet of just, angels sing when you walk in. Knives everywhere. You name it, cutlery, and I collect knives, but open folders, tacticals, razors, and everything else. So I went in specifically to see, because Jerry is in Holbrook, if I could say hello, because we had always corresponded and he was a vendor and stuff like that. I found out some very, very interesting things about
personal stuff,
personal things about him that I wasn't very impressed with, and I'll leave it at that. So it did take some of the luster about, and the trouble. I've never seen the Goonies all the way through. Sorry, Eric. I've never seen the Goonies all the way through. And I know that my status with Eric has fallen because of that. But I've never seen the whole thing in pieces.
Wait, did you bring your blue one, your dragon one?
Of course.
Show them the dragon.
Okay, so this was one. Well, let me tell you the backstory first. So years ago, we were at some friend's house, and I'm into photography pretty well. And there was a brand new camera that was coming out that was made by Sony. And what it was is it was a Sony camera that went from 50 millimeters to 600 millimeters with one lens. And I have a Canon AE Mark V. And so you have to switch lenses all the time. It's heavy. It's got a big body. It's a full frame. So I said, I want one of those cameras. Now, at the time, it was a couple grand for that camera. And we were all sitting outside smoking cigarettes. And my wife goes, tell you what, you quit smoking, I'll buy you the camera. And I went, done. And she thought I was full of, what. And she tried to back away from that. But everybody that was there said, no, you said that if he quit smoking, you'll buy him the camera. So I quit smoking. But when it got down to getting the camera, like 6 months later, I said, you know what? I don't need another camera. I've got 3 SLRs. I don't need another camera. I said, how about a straight razor? And she goes, okay, I'll do that. So I called Korat, good old Ulrich over in the East, and Game of Thrones was really big at the time. And so I found these scales, and this is known as the dragon, the ice dragon. So these are the scales. Oh man, it's not going to show up real well. But anyhow, the scale, it's not this blue. It's more of a turquoise, but it's dragon scales. And then it is zebra Damascus. And then if you look at the front profile, it looks like the head of a dragon.
It's got a little,
and it's got the scales on it. This is my pride and joy. In fact, so much so that a certain individual named Chad said that when I die, he's going to call Sharon and see if he'll give it to her. I'm going to be buried with this.
Eric can't get over it.
Yeah, I know. Eric's upset at me about the truffle.
Well, which is interesting is because I haven't seen it a lot. So you have also a matching brush to that.
Yes,
but before this, you had like a Ferrari straight razor with the matching brush, which you use like all the time. And now I don't use it when you got that. Yeah,
I stopped using it.
That's in the back. Yeah.
Well, that Ferrari razor is an 8/8 razor, and it's very heavy. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't want to work that hard, because it also has a French point on it that's unmuted, so it can take off body parts and stuff like that. So let me go through the last two razors real quick that I use regularly. Although I have all three, I have a 12, a 13, and a 14. Probably my favorite Philharmonica is this one. This is a Philly 13 6/8, just in beautiful shape. And the reason why I like the Philharmonicas is the JNP models, which is Jose Montserrat Pou. He was the one that really made this company famous. And it's a specific timeline in years when the JMP was around. And Spanish steel, everybody talks about, in straight razors, everybody talks about Swedish steel. Swedish steel is very hard. You hone it once, you don't have to hone it again. Where Spanish steel is it's the best feeling steel on the face. In fact, there was a movie where Alan Rickman played the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood with Kevin Costner. And there was a scene in there where he was walking through the sword maker's shop, and he took a sword out and he goes, Spanish steel, the best. And it was just, it was neat. So that's the one. And then the most unique razor I have, and I haven't verified this, but I shaved with this yesterday, and this is an Italian-inspired razor from Schenectady, New York. It's JP Alchemisi, Schenectady, New York, made in Germany, but it's called the General Badoglio. And apparently he was a real nasty general in Italy during World War II. But the interesting thing about it is the scales. They look like horsehair. But they've got this neat pattern on it. And the most important thing for me is the bolster right down here. I don't know if I can get a good picture of it. But that is actually
metal design.
That's actually the papal seal.
That's cool.
So I don't know what the history of this is. Did this shave the Pope? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Butterfly effect. Maybe he handed it down to somebody. They didn't know what it was. They stuck it in a garage sale, and now you have it.
Well, see, and that to me is why I love the history of razors in general, whether they be DEs or whether they be straight razors, because you don't know who they sold. I didn't bring it out here, but I've got a razor that dates back to 1860, 1870, or 1880 rather, and it was purchased in Tombstone. So who knows? It could have shaved one of those guys. So it's kind of neat. Yeah. So the big reveal, the Techmatic. I love this razor, and as far as I know, I'm the only one that still has the remaining cartridges anywhere on the planet.
Hey,
do you have a bunch? Oh, yeah. Okay.
In fact, I've got 3 Techmatic razors.
Oh, okay. This razor to me, because as some people here know that I'm huge into NASA and stuff like that and space stuff, this is the Techmatic. And the Techmatic, shave of the Pope. This razor is cool because you can set the aggressiveness on it with this little dot.
Depending on
goes from low to high. Yeah.
Some cartridges have the adjustment, some don't.
Oh, see, all the ones I have it. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Yeah. But what's cool about this, and then the cartridge is this white portion right here. And what it contains behind this white thing is a coil, and that coil is the razor blade. And so when you shave, you can either advance it here. In fact, I'll take it out. There we go. It's been a while.
It's a ribbon sharpened on one side to a razor edge.
Yeah, here you go. You can kind of see the ribbon in there, and so you just pop that in. I haven't had this out in ages. Yeah, there we go. And then what you do is this right here. You advance the blade. It's the coolest thing in the world. And this
it slides the blade one width forward, so you have a fresh cutting edge.
Yeah, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't. You can't really see it very well, but you can. I've got a bunch of these cartridges, and really ergonomically, it's a great shape. In fact, I just noticed this. It looks a lot like the angle of the Vector. Geez. Of course.
But what you were starting to say before is that these were issued to Apollo astronauts, and there's a photo through a window from from a spacewalk of an astronaut shaving.
It's actually Michael Collins in Apollo 11. He's up there shaving with this. And it's a piece of history. Now, there were a couple of guys that did shave with a straight razor up there, but that was non-authorized. This was the only authorized for flight operations, just like the Omega Speedmaster watch, even though Jack Swikert took a Rolex up because, of course, he's Jack Swikert. So, but no, it's a neat razor.
What's crazy is I bought that for the history, and I just thought, well, I want to have this. And you use it thinking this is going to rip my face up, right? It's a wide ribbon of how sharp could this be. You almost don't feel the blade on that thing, and you get smooth. It is an amazing shave.
It's a wonderful shaver.
A plastic ribbon razor.
Yeah, because when you look at the razor, I mean, the handle is plastic. The cartridge holder, I don't even think is metal. It's probably pot metal. And then the advancer. And the only thing I don't like is you don't know when to advance it. I mean, it tells you when the cartridge is full, but you never really know when to advance it. But I keep this actually in a display case. I very rarely use it. But yeah, so that now that she's back in, but that was the story behind this razor. This was supposed to be a camera.
Yeah, good choice. That lasts long. You know what's crazy? Speaking of cameras, I was actually a photography major for like 4 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so again, very into photography, and so I'm a Nikon person, so I get the semi-pro versions, and so we're cleaning the house, downsizing, and I had gone from 3 Nikons down to 2, and I'm like, I hardly even take an SLR anywhere right now that your phone is such good quality. Right. I don't want to travel with it, but I'm like, I'll keep one. So the one that was my backup or older one, I thought, well, I'll see what this is worth and maybe sell it. Oh my gosh, it's worth nothing. It was, as you were saying, a couple grand new, and it's like $200.
Yeah,
and it's just arrow in the heart, right?
Oh yeah, because right below me here in this cabinet, there is my camera bag. Okay, and I've got my Canon Mark V D2. I've got my Canon Mark II D7, and I've got all my lenses, and I've got some, big ones. And ever since the new iPhones came out, it collects dust because like when we went to Yellowstone, should I have taken it to get close-ups of animals and stuff? But you know what? The nice thing about the phone, click, you got what you need, and so have the iPhones ruined photography for a lot of people? Yeah, I think it has.
Well, both ways, but it's also made it so everybody can have pretty high quality.
Right.
But the other thing I realized is back before certainly computers, and even before Facebook and stuff, what would you do? You'd take photos, you'd edit it, you pick your favorite, you print it up, frame it, put it on your wall. Now you're just throwing it up on the website, and you don't need a gajillion pixels. And
obviously you were a photography major. You remember pre-digital. You were in a dark room.
Oh yeah, mix the chemical. In fact, one of our kids was asking about f-stop and all this stuff, and I was talking about, film speed and this and that. What do you mean? Film? What are you talking about?
Right.
My.
Well, and the thing is, what's nice about the new digital, the digital format, it allowed people that were into photography to still, nicker around with it. In other words, okay, I can set my off stop, I can set the film speed. When really nowadays you set it on auto, you're done. Yeah. And so the only camera that I would probably buy that's a full frame DSLR is that Sony that has the multiple focal lengths, from 50. I think the new one is 50 to 600. Yeah, and it's all in one lens.
Well, I'm assuming if you're talking about the quality's got to be amazing, because you run into quality issues with zooms that
in fact, at on the 600 millimeter, it's f2.8, and on everything else is like 1.9. So it's beautiful stuff. I mean, they're taking monsters. What?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But they're they're not cheap anymore either.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw this out because I'm excited. So, Johnson Space Center. First, I'm jealous, but we're taking an April of next year a cruise out of Texas. And just in looking where to stay and stuff, I'm like, holy cow, we're pretty close to Johnson Space Center. And my wife is allowing us to go a day early.
Cool.
So we can go to, I'm so excited we get to go there.
Well, I won, or actually I entered a contest, and not too many people know this. I entered a contest where it was an all expense paid trip to JSC, and Steven was going to be going with me, but of course we didn't win. So, so I got him a NASA hat. But no, right. I collect everything NASA. And funny thing is, I've only been there once, and you can't see it in one day, in my opinion. You can't see it in one day. That's like the Air and Space Museum in Washington. You need a couple of days.
Yeah.
You really do. Because I do want to. Well, you went to the Spy Museum, didn't you?
The Spy Museum was very cool.
That's what I heard.
Very cool. Yeah.
Selling an SLR camera is like selling a buggy and whip these days. Right.
Yeah. So right. So we're flying into Houston, sailing out of Galveston, and so he's doing the same thing, taking a day to go to. Yep. All right, well, this was a cool show.
Yeah,
a couple of topics.
It was. Yeah, I mean, it was the butterfly effect. Well, maybe here's what happened: the butterfly flapped its wings, figured we were going to talk about something else, and went the other direction.
And here we are.
But yeah, so also, again, as always, if you have ideas on shows, and I don't know why our barflies don't give us more ideas, because like on my other channel, I got people giving me ideas like crazy. So
because they know we're just going to ruin it. If they give us an idea, they're going to be, they'll just screw it up.
That's true.
Wait, but also what are the three? So there's the one in Florida. I've been there. The one in Texas. Where's the
Johnson Space Center? There is
Kennedy.
Obviously Kennedy, and then actually there's two more. There's the one in Pasadena, and then there's one in Alabama.
Oh, Alabama. Yeah.
There's one in Alabama. I think the one in Pasadena is not really NASA per se, but
well, because there's a NASA place down here, just down the highway.
That's at Huntsville.
15 minutes where you can look at do a lot of Mars rover stuff there. I think that's where they developed that. So they've got a big center and all this.
Well, they've got at Meteor Crater up here, and also the Lowell Observatory. Where you can actually go out to the volcanic area near Flagstaff where the Apollo astronauts trained for the moon.
Training?
Yeah, that's right. JPL. That's the one I was talking about. They're a contractor, right?
Yeah. So, and I mean, Rich, we can talk about freeze-dried ice cream. I mean, that's the one thing everybody has to try.
Did you ever try that?
Well, yeah. From the first place was at the Air and Space Museum when I was in like grade school. Went to the Air and Space Museum, and you have to get the freeze-dried ice cream.
So I guess Eric works for like 10 minutes, comes back and takes a break, which we appreciate. Then he goes back for. I know why he
charged.
Right? No, I know why he came back. He came back because he's still shaking his head that I didn't know anything about the truffle shuffle. Now I have to watch
the Goonies since he was here last.
Yeah, exactly. So one last television reference. Do you watch Resident Alien?
No.
Dude, you need to start watching Resident Alien.
Did you see my post that Dexter's back? Nobody commented on that. What? You're not into Dexter?
You know what? I can pick up the newspaper and some guy killed somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, how many shows are there about Alan Tudyk being an alien? But then again, you're still working through your movies, right?
Oh yeah. I don't even know what's next at this point. Yeah. We haven't watched for several weeks. Yeah.
Statement. No, I'm listening with my stealth earbuds and hiding behind a
That's
machine.
The kind of dedication we like.
That's
right.
That's the. But we have to also think that Steven is here.
Yeah,
Steven is here. I mean that's huge.
Yeah.
Probably he's here because it's 147 degrees in Vegas, and he can't go outside. Yeah, we actually got rain finally yesterday.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's important for us.
Yeah.
So anyhow, also don't forget next week.
Yeah. Show up.
Joe Paulson will be here talking about four-wheeling, and so bring your questions because some of the stuff that you'll see is pretty intense, and it shows that Jeeps are awesome.
Yeah, I saw. Who is it? Harrison Ford. He likes to drive an electric Jeep, that guy.
Mm-hmm. I love that commercial, though. I love it. He goes, "My name is Ford."
Here's why. Here's why.
Oh, okay. That, we built this up. I was feeling good. And I was like, Steven, thank you so much. And yeah, there's no Dodgers game. Well, hey, wait a minute, Steven. There's no Dodgers game. I'm sure they could pay somebody to air them. Maybe they've got more money than Carter's got liver pills. Anyway, that was a good show. Buddy. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please don't forget to join us next week for the fun of Joe and Lost in the Desert. So it'll be a lot of fun. Say goodnight, Dave.
Night, Dave.
Good night, everybody. Have a great week.